last thing I told myself before I hit record was just be yourself. And then the minute I hit record, I was like, who's that? Hi guys, welcome back to My Therapist Said. My name is Stephanie and I am your host. Welcome back to the show, you guys. How the fuck are we feeling? Happy Wednesday. I've not been doing great, so we're just gonna, this episode is gonna just be a little mental health check-in. It's gonna be a short one. I might not fully do a full epi, so if you are like, sometimes she'd be talking too long, ranting, rambling, I'm not gonna tell you that this is not gonna be one of those episodes, because it might be, knowing myself, but at the same time, it's like, I just want to kind of preface with, I'm tired, and I just want to chit chat, just because I had to be on the mic, because I just missed you guys, and I missed the mic, so I have nothing more to say. Let's just fucking dive in. Hi guys, welcome back. Today is Thursday, and why, Stephanie? My mental health has been incredibly poor, and that's why today's Thursday, not Wednesday. I don't know. Let me just catch you guys up. Honestly, publicly going through a major life change on the internet is tough, and I should have known, but part of me, we're really just going to dive in. Part of me, when I posted that I'm closing my practice video, once it came out, because I gave it some space, I think like a couple weeks, the listeners of the podcast really get all the inner workings. I imagine that my audience on my Instagram, they don't know as much, you know? But if you made it here, I want you guys to know, like, you are really the OGs. Like, I don't hold anything back from you guys. From the Instagram, I'm holding back a little bit, because what is the climate of the DMs going to be, you know? But I need to try not to operate like that. Anyway, I publicly went through a closing my private practice situation on Instagram, and I posted it maybe like 3 weeks after the actual closure, because I was like, that's enough time I'll have a job. You know, like I won't be, because I'm like, I'm not going to like out myself on the internet for like not having a job right now. Like that's not a situation that I want to, I'm not like super proud of it. Like who am I to like not have this figured out by now? I think my feeling is just like, I feel really embarrassed. Like I wish I could come back on my Instagram at this point and be like, here's an update with like this new role that I have, and I love it so much, and like I'm a happy therapist now, but I don't have that, and then I don't want to like give too much of just like downer content, you know, just being like, and I still have a clawback, literally it's looking at me right now, from July 2025 sitting up there, and I'm like, I can make content about that, but I'm also like, is everyone tired? Like, you guys get it. I don't agree with how this insurance system operates. You guys already get it. I don't need to say it again. And honestly, it doesn't really help my mental health as I make a lot of those videos. Like, it does help my mental health for a little, but then sometimes I'm just like, I get exhausted. Like, I film and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like all my energy is gone because I'm just like sad about the whole thing. And like, we don't really have a great other option. Like it's not really a personal thing. It's mostly just like, I feel sad at the system that I'm not the only therapist navigating this. Like someone told me recently, like I should just find a spouse, you know, like shit like that it's like, who told you that I can't do this alone? Like, but also Stephanie, don't read comments on the internet, you know? I don't know. Anyway, guys, hi, how are we doing? No update on the job front, if you couldn't tell. I'll tell you what I did this week though. One of my cutie yoga friends, I know he listens, so hi. First of all, let's work it back. This morning he said, happy 100th episode. Where are we? In a yoga class? What? Not me being celebrated in a yoga class. I was like, what? What? Not me being a podcaster. What? I said, thanks. Like, he's so fucking nice, and I also feel so seen. Like, damn, thanks for remembering that I have a podcast. Because it's really the only thing I have right now. Not to make this sad again. Get off your sad girl mic, Stephanie. I can't. I'm just bummed. I just want to have it more together than I do. Like, I didn't even put eyeshadow on today. I'm just like, ugh. Anyway. He celebrated my 100th episode, and I was like, "You're the fucking best." And earlier this week, he heard me chit-chatting on the mic about, and I told him too when I talked to him that I think getting into consulting would be so good for me because I have so many thoughts, and I'm miserable in my thoughts if I can't invoke change. So I feel like a consulting job would be so good for me. So his company was going through consulting, and he connected me with a consultant that worked with his company. So how nice. So we chit-chatted on Monday, and she gave me a lot of insights into like what it looks like to be a consultant. I thought it was going to be more of like, here's how you get a job in this field. She was like, I'm an independent entity, and you also are an independent entity in that you already have a business set up. You could just create a business. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. I gotta go. And then I went to take Bubs out for like 2 hours because what does that, like another business, Stephanie? Do I need to get Botox? Oh my God, I have a lot of movement. It's kind of time for Botox, huh? My eyebrows usually never move. Okay, you're talking about business. So she was pretty much like, you start a business. And that was on Monday. And I'm like so grateful for that call because it also made me feel like inspired, but also like I actually do have more done than I historically have had. Like I didn't have an S corp prior to, I don't know, 2023 is when I got it all set up. So like I'm 3 years into creating a business. The private practice side of the business obviously didn't work out, but I'm thinking like, could I pivot with the business I already have intact? But then I'm like, to start fresh sounds, where do I even begin? So that's why I was talking to her. And then she actually connected with me with one of her other colleagues that went from psych to consulting, which I think is like an interesting, I don't know, trajectory. And I kind of get it because I feel like we do have similar interests to like, we care about people, you know, and I think a lot of people that care about the people also know that the system has to agree. And when the system doesn't agree, sometimes we have things to say. And then I can see like consulting. Like I understand. I obviously because it's me, I get that. But I'm like, if I can meet someone else like me, that'd be awesome. So that's what's going on with that. And thank you to that friend for that connection. He's so fucking funny. I didn't tell him thank you the next day that I talked to her because I forgot to just tell him thank you after yoga. And he texted me and he was like, I'm going to paraphrase. He was like, I thought maybe connecting you to this consultant that I've only met a couple times was a bad idea because what if the consultant was like mean to you and then you don't be friends with me anymore? And he's like sending me this like long paragraph of his mental spiral. And I like the way I read it was just cheesing and laughing out loud. I just responded with like, that is exactly how my brain works. Like I don't tell him I didn't make that second point of connection that I needed to after he knew we were going to meet on Monday. So on Tuesday I should have come around and been like, hey, we met. I'm actually meant to on Monday be like, hey, we're going to meet, but I forgot. So then with all of me forgetting in that gap of what he thinks should happen and what I thought should have happened, his mental spiral was just doing absolute dun 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 dun, and then mine was also doing dun 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 because I'm like, a business, what do? Do I have to like create a business plan? What's that? What's this? What's that? What's this? Like I'm over here doing my own mental spiral. He's over here thinking the consultant was mean to me and like now I shouldn't have given this, you know, but this contact to my friend. Now this consultant was like, what, treated her like what? And like now are we even going to be friends? Is she mad at me? Like that is so it's just so mental health. It's giving the circus mind. It's giving dun 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 dun. So we've reconnected and we're good. We realize that everything's fine on both sides. We're just anxious on either side too. It's just exhausting because the way I like kind of shut down after the meeting because I was just like, I like don't know where to begin. I get overwhelmed in that. So fast forward to today. Today's Thursday because yesterday was Wednesday and I was supposed to record. What was I doing? Crying. What was I actually doing on Thursday as well? This morning, crying. And then today I was like, am I even going to record? Maybe I need to take this week off. We shall see. But I had a call with, I have a family friend I was besties with her middle daughter. We grew up together from elementary school all the way through high school. We went to the same school and we used to be really close in elementary school. So this person is the mom of my old friend. So she's been in our lives forever because she also was a neighbor, and we used to I used to walk over to her house, spend so much time there. I had a lot of really good neighbor friends growing up. I realized as I say it out loud, but she's a close friend of my parents as well. So all the week last week, I kept thinking what the fuck am I going to do? What the fuck am I going to do? And when I was younger, I used to ask these questions. Obviously we take the F word out to say it to my mom, but I would talk to my mom growing up, be like, Mom, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? I don't know. And my mom would always just be like, just call her. She does career coaching. She can help you with your resume. Back when I was 17, my mom would tell me to call this person. And of course I did. Did I do it? What a silly good question. Did I listen to my parents? Absolutely not. I was this, fuck yeah, rebellious teen. Here I am, 34, being maybe I should call her. Mom, it's not that your ideas were wrong. And dads, if you're listening too, if you're on the mic, I just want you to know that it's not that your guys' ideas were wrong. It's that maybe they were a bit too soon, because I think about this. When was my mom telling me to call her? Probably I was 17 years old. How long did it take me? What is that? I don't do math, right? Bottom 1% of the population of people. So something not 20 years is what I wanted. Maybe 15 years ish, give or take a little. I just needed another 15 years to think about it, Mom, Dad, and then I was going to call her. Okay. So I called her, guys. Mom, Dad, we listening? Okay, still on the track? Awesome. So I texted her last week and I was like, hey, I'm just really struggling. I'm a licensed therapist. I started a practice, closed a practice, and I don't know what to do next. And our call was this morning and we hopped on the call. And the first thing I told her was, I feel like my mom told me to call you. And she was laughing because we were I was telling her my mom used to always say that when I'm growing up. I remember whenever I would talk about anything career related, she used to always say, just call this person, just call her. And I'm I feel that I could hear my mom telling me to do that the past couple of weeks. This is really woo woo. I get it. And I'll be honest, I don't hear my parents ever. So it's not I have this cool intuitive connection to my parents who have passed away. It's very rare. I see them in my dreams pretty regularly, especially when I'm stressed the fuck out. And then I never hear from them other than that. And I be asking, Mom, Dad, hello. And it's just this. We died. No, that's not funny, Stephanie. I can't stop with a joke where you're just Mom, Dad? Sorry, I'm still laughing. That's such a funny joke. Because it's exactly what the process is when you're grieving. It's exactly what it is. So I'd be asking my mom and she just doesn't say shit. I'm hello? But when I was meeting with that friend today, the family friend, she was just I feel yeah, I think maybe your mom did tell you to call me. And then towards the end of the call, she was, what did we talk about? I'm scared to put this much out here because it's so personal and it's not currently happening. And I really don't hate anything more than a bunch of ideas and no growth forward. I think probably because I've dated a bunch of people like that, I used to call my ex the idea man because he's just full of ideas. And I'm not hating on ideas. Okay. I love a thinker. I love someone who has ideas, but eventually it's get a job. So I don't really want to share everything. But essentially, she was leading me towards a similar path as the consultant, but she was doing it with more she's known me since I was a kid. So she was just she was bringing up traits of my dad, which made me feel really connected, where she was just because she remembers him. He had a home office before home offices were even a thing. In 2001, this man advocated for himself to get a home office because he wanted to work from home. And Dell Computers was all right, if you say so, Mike, what are they, I think that's so badass. And he worked in sales and he did sales leadership. So I do think I have a lot of the traits that he has had professionally. I do think I took those on as well because he had a home office. I listened to him on conference calls all day long. He was really good at connecting with people. And I remember him having these personal relationships professionally, where I remembered him just chit-chatting about his coworkers' kids and stuff. And I remember just being that's so cool that they can talk about, or a recent vacation and he's telling a story from the vacation. It wasn't just how was your weekend? It was and then my daughter did this and then my other daughter did this. And I'm just that's so cool. I remember listening to this as a child. When I got home from school, he'd be on a conference call. I left for school. He's on a conference call. He's just chit chat. So I remember hearing that about him. And but it's been so long since I've heard him. My friend though brought it up today where she was like, do you remember like your dad? Like he would never let no be like the final answer. Like essentially the feedback she gave me, which I love and I will share this, is like you can drop the defense and just join offense at this point, which felt so freeing because I do think about like my social media advocacy. I never wanted to come off like downer content, like I was saying at the beginning, and I never wanted to be like I'm just trying to fight and be angry all day because I'm fucking tired and I don't actually like being angry. Like, you know, I just don't really enjoy it. I go to therapy about it. I feel like I'm very quick to it at times, mostly when I'm burnt out, and I don't want that to be how I portray myself online anymore. I do think it served me for an extended period of time, but I think at this point I'm ready to change it because I'm ready to live my life different. And when she said like you can take the offense, I was like, oh my God, that's so freeing. I want to do that. So what I hear from that is you can be the change you want to see. Not to be so woo-woo on the mic today. I mean, when I really get stressed out, my spirituality is strong, bitch. I'm like, what do we need to do? Palo Santo, a little sage. Like, I'm ready to do a fucking meditation ritual. I don't give a fuck, dude. Like, mom, dad, like, I'm fucking open to whatever. The universe is just the universe. And I'm like, there are no rules here. Hello? So that's kind of where I'm at today. Very just like in my vibe. I'm just like, okay. So what I'm hearing here is like maybe I'm being like intuitively pulled towards a specific direction of like, if you want to see change, Stephanie, then be the change, you know, like instead of creating all of this content online, which again, I do think that it had a time and place around just like, I hate this, I hate that. I do think it's important now that I introduce new ideas because I do have so many ideas in terms of how we can better improve the workflows to better improve the outcomes of what we're doing here in mental health in 2026. And when I was telling her I didn't know what to do with the rest of my life, and I was telling her I closed my practice, I don't really want to be a therapist anymore. I'm tired of the weight of the clinical with the administrative burden. I was like, that being a therapist is still fine, but I just know it comes with so much more than that. I can't do that. You know, I just can't. I have to do a job that's like somewhere else in the organization than clinical. I can oversee it, but I can't be a part of it. And she was like, so you like to help people still? And I was like, 100%. I mean, that's always what I've always that's like behind what everything that I do is because I want to help people and create more accessibility in therapy. I was telling her one of my favorite jobs was a nonprofit that was donor based, where like they were just able to just provide services and just provide fucking services. Like if people it was in San Francisco. So if anybody lived in San Francisco, needed to go to therapy, you just walk in and you just go to therapy. Like it's not that complicated. And then the therapist, thank you, gets paid. Like just that simplicity of it is like something that I really miss. And I was like, I just feel like being in private practice is so the opposite of that space. I can't even help people anymore because I'm so burnt out from the administrative burden of this job. And I want to continue to help people though. How can I create a bigger impact? And she was essentially like, you can consult. So I'm just out here being an idea man, I guess. And then, oh my God, am I losing my co-host? Bubs. Ugh, I even waited for him to come back from school. Bubsy. We lost a co-host. It's okay. And maybe I just like blurted it out. I was like, my dream job would be working with these telehealth companies and helping them better improve the workflows for the benefit of patients and providers. And she was like, she literally was just like, and that's it. And I was like, what? She was like, she didn't say that I've been slouching, but she was like, your body language completely changed when you talked about that. She was like, you have energy to your voice. You're sitting up in your chair. Like, I can tell that that's your passion. Follow that. That's your purpose. That's your passion. And I was just like, okay, so how, you know? And she like gave me some ideas, and that's just where I'm at in this moment. So I'm just like bringing you guys up to speed with like where I've been at. I've just been struggling with a lot of like, to go through this publicly is so embarrassing. So that was bold of me to share this on the podcast after I was just saying how I don't want to talk about this stuff online. I don't really think about the podcast being that online though, because I don't really have to, at least not yet. You guys are like my inner circle. So you guys are going to get all the updates, but yeah, it just feels kind of like I've been like really directionless. It feels for quite some time, but I also did a float tank on Monday, which I was telling my friend this and we were laughing so fucking hard on the phone the other day. I was like telling her, I was like, I don't know what to do with my life. Just the same lore. You guys all know that narrative by now. I tell you guys everything and tell my friends. And, I was telling her, like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, I fucking meditate on this shit every fucking night, dude. So then on Monday, I was like, let's just go do a float tank about it. And like, let's just zen out and vibe out and just see what comes up. And the way I was laying there for motherfucking 90 motherfucking minutes being like, what do you want to do? And I literally told her, I was like, I'm just like screaming in the abyss in my brain being like, I don't know. Like, even in this 90-minute float tank with no distractions, I still don't fucking know. Like, it just felt so like, what the fuck? Like, I feel like I'm just like, what am I supposed to do? But I was also telling her too, I'm trying to work on less options because I think the more I give myself a million options, like, should I go work at Nordstrom again? Do I want to make fondue for a living? I kind of miss that job. That was one of my favorite jobs. I still know how to make the fondue too. I know how to make the Swiss cheese one. You guys want to know what goes in it? I'll tell you the secret. Okay. So you have to put white wine and then you have to put, wow, this is fun. White wine as the base. Okay. And don't forget, you have to carry all this on a tray when you walk out, including the wine. It's a little scary, especially if you have to make like 2 pots. Like, it's a lot of stuff on a tray and liquid on a tray, which have I spilled a whole carafe of wine before? I have. And I've spilled worse things than that. So you have to put a little bit of white wine and then we have to make sure that the pot is hot enough or else everything's going to be fucked up and you have an audience. Don't forget there's an audience at the table. So white wine, a little bit of garlic. Do I remember? A little bit of lemon, but make sure no seeds fall in. And then I think that's it. And then the cheese mix, and you stir that around, let that heat up a little bit. Then you have a mix of Swiss cheese and Gruyere. Is that what it's called? Yeah. And once it gets like a little bubbly, the white wine, then you slowly mix in the cheese. If you do it too fast and there's not enough liquid, it gets too thick too fast. If you do it too slow, there's too much liquid, then it gets too watery, and then it's hot as fuck, and then it burns everybody's mouths. So you have to be really careful, constantly be watching your temp, constantly stirring, watching your temp, stirring, watch your temp, and then that's how you make cheese fondue. That was just the Swiss one. I also know how to make bacon cheddar. I know how to make, there was like a Swiss and, there was like a spinach and feta that was really good. We used to make, there was also like a nacho one that was really good. What else do we use? We used to make these bourbon bacon that was really good. We used to like, in Lover's Lane, which was like the tables that were just 2 seats in like this back hallway. There was this table like 45 or 47, I think it was. It's really funny. The whole time I worked there for like 3 years, I didn't learn the table numbers at all. And my boss fucking hated me for it, but he thought I was so funny that he just let me not know the table numbers. He'd be like, you just got sat on table 12. And I'm like, where's table 12? And he's like, Stephanie, you worked here for 2 years. And then he's like, and in front of everybody, he's like giving me a hard time. But the minute everybody walks away, he's like, it's the second one on the right. I just like wasn't able to remember it. It like wasn't clocking to me. I'm like, where's table 12? So anyway, we used to make cheese on 47. And it was like this back deep dark, like in the corner table. And the bosses never knew because we were not allowed to make cheese while we were working. We're not even able to, we're not supposed to be eating either. But I always be caught eating on the line because they had this really good pretzel bread. And he'd always be like, Stephanie, no eating on the line. And I'm like, I'm not. And I have like pretzel bread in my mouth. But we didn't have any breaks. We're fucking working like 6 to 7 hours, not a single break because we're only open from 5 to 10. So you're fucking getting it from 5 to 10. Like, you are like the type where you're so busy when you see your boss holding a ticket, you pray to God or whoever the fuck else is in charge, please let that not be me. Like, I would look at him with this most scared eyes, like, I can't sit another table. Like, I haven't even made cheese on the first table. Like, I cannot, or the cheese was the wrong consistency and I have to come back for more liquid and then you're gonna sit me another table. Like, I can't. I'm fucking drowning, dude. The way I still have nightmares about serving jobs, like, you really be fucking in the weeds sometimes, man. Those jobs make you think so fucking fast. So why did I get into this? Do I want to go make fondue again? Like, it was like literally crossing my mind of like, I was good at that and the money was so fucking good and I made really cutie friends. But then I was like, Stephanie, like, you have to be, I was telling my friend this morning, the career counselor, I was like, we just have to like limit all the options. Cause she was like, if you give yourself the options for everything you've ever done, and she was also like, if you give yourself the option to go back to previous roles, just be mindful that that's like maybe not the best fit for you right now. She was like, you're in this really cool space where you can be more intentional about what job you want to choose. So to go back to like any of the old jobs, it's just kind of impeding your ability to think and move forward. So I heard that and I was like, no, totally. So like fondue, probably off the table for now. Like I honestly could work at Grow again or something, you know. Grow would never hire me again. The thought of that is so funny. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm like on the red list. Like, I have emailed back and forth with their provider success team, like, so, like, hundreds of times. Like, they don't fuck with me. I had so much to say about working there. I was like, how much money are you guys making? How much money are we making? And they're like this, you're fired. I'm dead. That's okay. No, I mean, I got fired. I actually didn't want to leave. I was trying to think what happened there. No, I didn't want to quit there. I wanted to keep Grow open so I could continue to get referrals to funnel them into my private practice. And once I asked them about the pay, they fired me and they kicked me out of my electronic health record. Yeah, no, it's not that I didn't get fired. No, they literally were like, you're fired. You're done here. So am I rehireable for Grow? No. Probably not. But I mean, I can work at any other telehealth company, you know, like, so I know that I have options, but I'm trying to like be intentional about where I'm at. So that's, now you guys know how to make cheese fondue. Do you have any other question about fondue? Sometimes it's really good to do like you can do non-alcoholic, but like a non-alcoholic beer base or a regular beer. And you do like that and garlic as like the base for your fondue, and then do cheddar cheese and like bacon or something like bacon adjacent for the vegetarian girlies. Something like that. It's so fucking good. Like a bourbon bacon cheddar. Are you fucking kidding me? That's what we used to make on table 47. And then my boss would come around the corner and be like, who cooked cheese on 47? You guys, we tell you not to cook cheese back here. And then all of our mouths are stuffed with bourbon bacon cheddar. We're like, wasn't me? I used to eat, oh my God, it was so much fondue there. That job was so fun. The food was so good. Okay, I want to tell you guys one thing about nostalgia. I've been like hearing a lot of people talk about nostalgia. I actually got asked about nostalgia when I did that. Am I saying it right? Yes, right? Weird word. When I did that meeting or that interview with Evan, he asked me about it and I was just super thrown off in the moment. If I'm being transparent, like I was really thrown off in the moment because first of all, like, what is nostalgia? Like, is it just like missing your childhood or like missing the way things were? Like, is that what nostalgia is? And I like don't feel like I have that. Like, I think about old chapters and I think about like how things have changed and are different, but I don't necessarily feel like I like I'm not just like maybe not a nostalgic person. I like don't, not for things, not for like memory, like not really anything. Like I'm very minimalist in my house. And I think part of it is because I had to clean out my parents' house, which was so emotional and insane. And, I like don't have a lot of like memories type stuff. Like I don't keep things for the memories. Like I'm like, that's trash. Like I don't think like that. And then I think like when I think back to my childhood, like is it weird? I'm about to say something like very direct, but like I don't fucking miss it. Like there's no part of me that like wants to go back. And I understand what people are saying. Like now people are feeling nostalgia, especially like millennials, I think probably because we grew up without computers at a time. I don't really care that we have computers now. I like don't care. I was like watching a video the other day of this millennial being like, we are like the most nostalgic generation because we grew up this way. And I just couldn't relate. Like, I don't feel like that. I get why people do, but I also don't feel like that. And I'm sharing this to like be like, does anyone else feel like me? Like I made a joke where I was like, I feel like I've always been 34. And that's the most realist thing. I listened back to that episode this morning, and as I said it in that episode out loud, I said, that is so real. Like, I agreed with myself heavy. Like, I had to say it out loud, being like, I agree so much with that statement. And I'm like, I don't think I've ever really experienced like a different feeling within my body. And then I'm like, am I making that up? Like, was I a child at one point? But everything I remember from my childhood was very serious. I mean, I was a competitive horseback rider. It's an extremely dangerous sport. You're very very serious at a very young age. I mean, I started riding horses when I was 6. Like, I got involved because we did these. Do you guys, speaking of not being nostalgic, do you guys know those, millennials, box tops? Like the top of the cereal boxes had these things called box tops, and you would cut them out and bring them to school, and you could like exchange them for things. And I think I had like 10 box tops in like, maybe, how old are you when you were 6? First grade? I had like 10 of them in this little Ziploc bag. I remember my mom would give them to me to like turn into school, and then we'd be able to like get something from it. I don't remember exactly the workflow, but that was it. And that's how I got involved in horseback riding, because somebody was like doing horseback riding lessons for box tops. And there was this Western, I ride English, but I can also ride Western because I'm a bad bitch. And there was this trainer that lived like 40 minutes from my parents' house, and she taught Western lessons. And I was literally like, I was told my mom, I like got home from school, and I was like, and I want to take horseback riding lessons, which is probably the worst thing I could have told my parents at this time, because horses are so expensive. really complicated and expensive sport. But I was like, I want to do that one. So I started with the like free like lessons. I think I did it for like at least a couple months like that. Maybe like a month like that probably. And then my mom had to start paying for the lessons. And then she was just like, do you still want to do this? And you guys, I never wanted to stop. Like I can stick to things, I guess, if I really do like it. But I learned at 6, if you make any childish moves, you're going to get kicked in the face, by horses. Like if you do anything silly goose, like you're going to get your ass you're going to be eating dirt in a second, like it just... Maybe that was part of the reason why I feel so adult, but I also think it was a combination of like trauma. We're not going to get into that today because I'm already feeling sad enough. We don't need to talk about how my childhood also made me feel sad, but like, it's just, I never really felt connected to this nostalgic thing. Like I just don't. And then I'm like, is that sad or is it fine? Am I just really good at like living in the moment? Like, I think the same way about how the world in 2026 is pretty upset about AI. And it's like, I get what you guys are saying. I just don't I don't think we have much control, like, yes, if less people used AI, would that positively impact our environment? Yeah, for sure. Other than that, guys, like, I don't, like, how many people would need to stop using it? And there's so many large corporations that are already taking it on to better improve their workflows. The people that don't want to ever use AI, I don't know. I kind of feel like you're going to get left behind. It feels similar to like when computers came out and people were all like scared about computers. And it's like, yeah, like I understand that it's super different, but in my mind, it's like, just roll with it. Like I have a hard time putting up resistance when things are just roll with it. Like maybe this is also like, maybe because I've like gone through so much grief, like big things have happened to me and I'm like, and we roll with it. Like, I don't know what else there is to say or do about it. I don't really have a lot of personal opinions about this. So that's why I don't feel nostalgic at all. Like, I feel really detached from millennials in this actually. Cause I think that like, yes, that's true that a lot of millennials are super nostalgic. And also like that Hannah Montana thing that came out on Hulu, maybe a couple months ago. It was like Hannah Montana's 20-year reunion or something, or 20-year anniversary or something. And like, I could not care less. Like I saw it on Hulu and I was like I got like a cringe feeling where I was like, no, I mean, like I loved Hannah Montana as a kid. I don't need to see it as a 34-year-old. Like I turned it on for 2 seconds because my friend was like, it was really cute. And I was just like, I'm throwing up. Like everyone's just like, I don't need this. I don't need it again. Like I already experienced it back then. I don't need this in 2026. Like I have moved on. Why can't Miley? The last thing I want to say is something funny about Bubs. Bubs has this habit of not giving a fuck about human beings, which you guys know when I walk in the front door, there's no dog to greet me. There's no tail wag. There's literally, he doesn't even lift his head up. He'll be laying and I'll walk in the door and he just like continues to lay there. Like there's not even like a head lift. I don't even know that his eyes open sometimes. Sometimes I have to, no, all the time. I have to walk up to him and be like, are you okay? Okay, we're alive. Okay, like, are you good? Because he's just so like a lump on a log. He's just big chilling. So I'm used to him being like that. On our hikes though, people look at him and he has the happiest little fucking face on. Big ass pitbull smile. Like he's just running around having the best day of his life. And I constantly see the ways in which he impacts the people that witness him. Like everyone's smiling. Oh my God, he's so cute. I'm like, thank you. I know. And great. Sometimes, every once in a while, people will see his big smile and mistake it for he wants to be like friends. And the thing about Bubs is that he's not really looking to be friends. He really is just trying to live his little life and do it the way he wants to do it. If he needs some friends to get him there, like me, like he knows that I'm the transportation to the places he wants to go. So he looks to me when it's like Monday morning and we always do our same little hike on Mondays. Like he looks to me like, Samantha, what time are we leaving? So like he does give me some. At times he does lift his head and he'll do a little ear perk, sometimes a little very minimal eye contact, but it exists. And I'm used to that. So I'm not expecting him to like get all excited about anything. But the people on the hike, I think they mistake his smile for being like he really wants to interact with me. And this last hike we went on, it happened to me 2 people in a row where these 2 groups of people stopped to pet him and they go, come here, and like doing the little dog thing. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. And he not only does he like ignore them, he'll like juke. Like he'll literally run. Like imagine this. You're a person on a hike. You see a stranger dog that looks like the happiest you've ever seen. You see him running towards you. You get so excited. Oh my God, he's going to come say hi to me, right? That's what I thought too. And he's running up. And then at the very last minute, he goes to the left and just passes people. And I am left in the turmoil to apologize, to be like, he's really friendly. He just doesn't like pets that much. Like I have to apologize to the people because the look on their face when they get juked by Bubs, it's sad. It's sad because I'm also like, Bubs, you're a pit bull. To fight against the pit bull stigma, you have to be extra, extra friendly. I'm sorry it's this way. I agree it shouldn't be like this, Bubs. I'm totally with you. But it would be really nice, Bubs, if you could be like super friendly with like strangers. People would be like, oh, pit bulls are super nice. Speaking of, look who decided to come back in. Bubsy, we're telling the story about on the hike. Yeah, remember the juke move? Yeah. He said, I don't even remember that because he doesn't really remember this stuff. It only impacts me. So he doesn't want to work against the stigma. He said him being just alive and just being friendly is enough, which I respect and I get that. So he's just, honestly, it's kind of empowering that he doesn't want to like work too hard to fix the stigma. He kind of wants to just be himself and just allow that it's just going to get fixed in time. And I really respect that, actually I really do. Because like he shouldn't have to work harder because people have stigma, right? Like I don't agree with that. So me and Bubs talk about that. So he's just like, Samantha, I'm just going to run up, smile on my face. You have to deal with the aftermath. And I'm like, okay, I don't have to deal with this stigma, Bub. So I hear you and I will take this on. So I tell them he's really friendly. He just doesn't always want pets, things like that. And the look in people's faces is always so funny, like complete disappointment. And I feel like they get a little embarrassed because that is a little embarrassing to be like, come here, look at you, cutie. And the dog just passes you by? Not even a quick little stop? Not even like 2 seconds of eye contact to be like, oh, I see you, and then run by? No, Bubs acts like he's on his own thing. He's doing his own thing. And you can't stop him when he's doing that. And so I made the first person I had to apologize to. Then the second person, he did the same thing. They were like, come here. And he just walks right past you, has no idea who you are, has no concept of any human being. He's in Bub's world doing Bub's things. And I told this person, sorry, he's just really busy. And he's really busy because that's what he acts like. He acts busy. Like he acts like I don't have time for this, Steve. Like you could just tell that he's like, I'm in my own little world here. Like don't come. You don't need to do all this. Come here. He's like, I'm busy, Steve. I want to go straight. And then to the left or to the right if I have a smell that intrigues me. Other than that, like my desk is full. Like I actually don't have time for like these little little head pat. Like what am I gonna like stop and like get a little you're so cute, what's your name? Like Bubs is like, I literally don't have time for that. And then he's like, what? So what? They say, what's your name? And then I tell them, oh, my name is Bubs. And then here's what they say. They say, oh, I call my dog that too. Which Bubs doesn't like. Huh, Bubs? Me and Bubs talk about it in the car. I say, Bubs, does that bother you that people always tell because it's Bubs' only name, you know? Like imagine having a name that's so much of a nickname that people don't take your name seriously. I know, Bubs. I know. No, we talk about it, right? And then he's like, imagine if I said that to your dog, like your dog, his name is Kevin. You're like, oh, oh, I call my dog, oh, my name is Kevin too. Bubs said, no, your dog's name is Kevin. My name is my name is Bubs. Like, why can't we just have our own names? But instead, everybody's like, oh, I call my dog that too. And Bubs is like, it's my only name. Bubs is so busy. Okay, that's it. Yoga today kicked my ass. Did that have something to do with all the crying this morning? Honestly, maybe. Sometimes I just really be feeling like shit because I'm like, you come every day. Why the struggle bus, Stephanie? I don't know, guys. Yesterday was better. Yeah, yesterday was a bad bitch day. I was in the front with my friend. And I can't do any bad bitch stuff though anymore. And I've been wearing shorts, so I can't do crow pose or anything. All my friends to my right always do their handstands. And I'm like, I'm not that much of a bad bitch. Don't focus on what you don't have. No, I did good yesterday. Today I did not do good. Today, like the teacher talks like he does so many reps and he does only one side fully and then your other side fully. So once the whole right side fully is done, I have this thought of like, we haven't even started the left yet. And it's like, maybe I'm being dramatic, but maybe like 10 minutes on one side, maybe like 8. So then by the time I have to like think through, and we do core in the middle. So once we're doing core, I'm like, and I looked at my friend this morning and I was like, we haven't even done the left side yet. And he was like, no, and then I was just like, I hate it here. And, my other friend was like, I was trying to make eye contact with you because with that class, what the fuck? And I was like, no, guys, I don't understand. Can I just say one thing I will always laugh at in yoga and I'll never stop laughing at this joke? I love when people say it's so hot in here. I love that joke because it's like so funny to me. My friend made that joke yesterday in the middle of class. We were like in a chair pose. Just imagine like the peak point of class. It's like 45 minutes in. Everyone is just so sweaty. My friend yesterday looks to me and he goes, it's kind of hot in here. The way I just couldn't stop laughing. I'm like, that's so funny. That's a joke that will never get old to me. It's fucking hot in here, dude. It's like 102. It's so hot in here. So that's what's going on. But I've been doing good going to yoga. Everything consistently has been going good. I'm doing my meditations every day. I'm journaling every morning, whether I fucking want to or not. And the answer is that not. And, I do what I can to keep myself together as much as I can. But I'm not going to lie. This is really a struggle time for me. And thanks for being here. Part of me hopes that not part of me, my whole being hopes that all of this one day will just be interesting to look back on and be like, oh, wow, you documented that whole transitional period, good job. But in this moment it just feels very like I'm so exposed to I'm just super fearful, and I feel like you don't oftentimes hear people talking about in the middle, I think it's a lot of like, oh, and I did this and this is accomplished, or here's my plan and here are my steps. But in this current moment I'm like, I don't have that structure under me, and I'm just translating this to you guys so you guys know what it's like from someone else's perspective, that sometimes we can translate when we're in the middle of it, and there are days that I'm really light and I'm feeling really grateful that wow, I'm so grateful that I can even take this time to intentionally choose my next role. And I'm really grateful that I have a mindset that has very high risk tolerance where I'm able to take risks. I'm also really proud of myself for having a mindset that's obsessed with change, and I'm totally fine making pivots and moves. I was just talking to a friend about this the other day. I was like, at least we don't we met when I was 21 at Nordstrom, and I was telling her at least we didn't just stay there and that's all we did. And no shade to those who do that. I get that sustainability, it was actually a really good job. I do think about should I go back there? but I was telling her, like, I feel grateful that I did pivot my life so I can, like, just like go through other options, because I could have seen myself just staying there because it was comfortable, and it was consistent. It was good money, and I loved everybody that worked there. Like, I could see myself staying forever, and I did stay a long time. That was the longest job I ever had. I think like 6 or 7 years on and off, because I'd be quitting, but then I'd be coming back. So, I was telling her, like, I feel great when I'm in my space of like less anxiety, less scarcity mindset, more just like gratitude. I'm just like grateful that I have a mind that does make action when I have thoughts. It's not like I'm just like my ex, an idea man. And no shade, I'm the idea man out there. Like, I get it. It's fun to think up a bunch of different ideas of like what you could do. But for me, I feel like my ability to take action is one of my like stronger traits. So I don't want to just discredit that trait, even though I'm scared right now. So on that note, I love you guys so fucking much. Are we watching 90 Day Fiance? Can I talk about it on Friday? Because I have more thoughts about Katie. I was watching it and I was like, you said you identify with this girl? People are going to be like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Stephanie? But we'll get into it on Friday. I love you guys so much. Bubs says he loves you.